Rachel from China's Xinhua News Agency. Welcome to Xinhua Live. Today our Xinhua Live is taken in Lingang area at Shanghai's Pudong New District. As Shanghai's first self-driving test land was put into use this month. Today we're going to explore how smart the self-driving test land is. And of course the best way is to take a ride on it. So today, our route is supposed to depart from the Lingang area for Shanghai's Yangshan Deep Water Port, and the distance between the two places is over 30 kilometers. So Rachel is going to take a truck with an engineer of the project to explore more about the small heavy-duty truck and the test land. And I'm going to take another vehicle to take more shots. So now let's meet our guest today, Donghai.
My name is Zhenghao, and I have been working in autopilot for about 1 year. And now the major job of my daily work is to design and implement the planning, decision, and control algorithm and the module. And I also take the responsibility of the project delivery of my department.
So great. So we cannot wait to explore about the smart truck. So from our experience, so what's the difference from the original one?
Okay, this truck, it looks like just a normal truck, but we can see that there are very tiny but amazing things around it. I will show you around it. You can see this is the LiDAR camera, LiDAR sensor. It looks just like a cylinder, but it can send out a lot of lines of laser. So with this sensor, we can get a very accurate environment modeling. Yes, and here we can see this is also a sensor. This is the millimeter wave radar.
Yes. You mean this one?
This one. We have totally we have 5 this kind of sensor around our vehicle. So
that's 4 in the corner and 1 in the center.
Yes, 1 in the center and 4 in the corner.
So that's 4 this kind of sensor.
Yes.
In the corner and 1 in the center of the front of the truck.
And there. And this is the camera. And we can see here 3 cameras. But in this truck we have totally 13 cameras. So we can have
4 pictures.
Not only 4 pictures, we totally have 13 pictures. And here this is also a camera. This camera has a pixel of 8 million. It is really a very high level of pixel. So we can have pictures, images of very high resolution. With this kind of combination of sensors, we can have a very good surround view with no blind spot.
We can see very clearly.
Yes, very, very clearly.
Okay, so let's get on to the smart truck, shall we? So maybe I will see you soon at the Yangshan Deep Water Port. Yeah. July the 18th marked the first day that the self-driving test land on the Donghai Bridge was put into operation. The bridge has 6 lanes in total, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on weekdays. The outermost lane in both directions are designated as ones for the test. Self-driving trucks transporting goods between Yangshan Port and the Lingang New area during this period of time on the designated lanes will be free from traffic jam, so the transportation efficiency will be highly increased. Last year, Shanghai opened about 1,300 kilometers of road for test drives of intelligent connected vehicles, among which 540 kilometers are in Lingang, including the Donghai Bridge. How is the test run of the smart heavy-duty truck in highway scenario? Let's cross over to Rachel.
We are like buckle up now. Like wait for the camera to get ready.
No.
We are on board to the bridge, right?
Yes, and we can see this lane with the yellow road marking. This is the specific autonomous test lane.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
You can see the Chinese letters on the lane that says this is designed especially for the heavy-duty trucks to do self-driving tests.
Yes.
And it's designed only for those trucks between like 10 to 1 in the afternoon, like only for the for our trucks, right?
Yes, only in this fixed time period.
On weekdays.
Weekdays.
Yeah. We have 3 lanes here, right? But this lane is especially designed for like self-driving.
Yes.
So you can see it's different. So, but
The color is yellow.
Yeah, it's yellow and it's different. So, the drivers will not get it wrong.
Normally, the other driver will not try to drive on the specific lane for autonomous driving. But in some very dangerous case or some very urgent case, they will also drive on this lane.
Right. But this is like you can see the Chinese letters here. It says like self-driving only, like
Yes.
means only, like designated. Okay, let's hop in up on the bridge. It takes a while for us before we see the sea, right?
There is the sea. We can see the sea. In
We
2
can see the
minutes.
sea
In
like
2
in
minutes.
1 or 2 minutes. So
Yes.
this is a cross-sea bridge which connects Shanghai and its Yangshan port. So the port is somewhere like an island. So we need this bridge to get to the Yangshan port. Yangshan port is the biggest port ever in containers in the world. So this bridge can get very busy, right?
Can get very busy. Today the traffic is not so busy because it is the daytime in very early. Now it is about 9 o'clock. But from about 5 o'clock p.m. to night, the bridge will be full of different kind of trucks.
So we know like the rush hour is somewhere between the night, like connecting to the port, because that will be the rush hour for the port as well, right?
Yes.
You can see the Donghai like the Donghai Bridge here, the 4 letters. So we are now officially entering the main part of the bridge, right?
Yes.
We're leaving the land very soon. So this part is still land, but very soon you can see the sea already in our view. Like this is sea already. It's really pretty.
Yes, very pretty. And today we can see maybe it is how to say, here we still very close to the shore, so the color of the sea is not very blue. But with our driving into the center of the bridge, we can see the view will be very, very nice.
Now we will see a much prettier sea, guys.
Yes, we can see in this direction, and with the sunshine and the island far away from us, and the light on the sea, it's really very beautiful.
Yeah, it's glittering, guys. It's really pretty, and we are promised to see a much prettier sea when we are getting close to the Yangshan port, right?
Yes, and so far as I know, there is also a viewpoint in the Yangshan Island. About 5 years ago, I have also visited it. There are still mountain, a very small mountain there, and very interesting.
This is really interesting. So, how close are we, like between us and the first truck now? Like?
Let's see.
Oh, we can see this on the screen,
Yes,
guys.
about 70 meters.
70 meters.
70 meters.
guys.
Here, this is the front vehicle
We can see the front vehicle
with
on
with the
screen.
right circle. Yes, and we can also see the speed, the direction, the size, and the distance between our Eagle vehicle and the front vehicle from the screen.
And what's our speed?
Our speed is about 60 kilometers per hour.
You can see on the screen.
Yes, this screen is for our daily debugging work.
So like normally in the test, those cars are like way more closer because like those cars can do actually better than human drivers, right?
Yes, and the traffic efficiency will be a lot better.
So this is one of the advantages of self-driving cars and autonomous platooning, right? Like for this time, those trucks can get really close, so they will go much faster and they keep very close to each other, so the efficiency really goes up.
Yes, and another benefit of the autonomous platooning is that the platoon can act together, behave together. Normally, in the daily drive in the city, we will have the experience that the front vehicle starts and then maybe 1 second later, our Eagle vehicle can start. We will keep an eye on the distance. But with the V2X technology, we can get the information of other vehicles, even the behavior intention of other vehicles. So, for example, 2 vehicles, 3 vehicles, 4 vehicles, they can start together without any hesitate.
So basically that means like when the first vehicle sees something with the radar, even the obstacle is like really far away, the fifth one or the 10th one also gets the signal. So they know like the first vehicle is likely to stop, avoid or do any kind of choice because of the obstacle, and the last one can also get the signal. So it gets much easier. It can not just only seize with the first truck see, it also can anticipate what it is going to do.
Yes.
So it's so much smarter. So the drivers in other like those trucks in the second and like third one, they already know what the first truck would do. So this is why so the distance can be much
close.
shorter.
Very shorter. So not only we know what currently each vehicle is doing, we know in future a few seconds what the other vehicle will do.
Right.
Because we are playing in a time domain. We plan our behavior in about 10 seconds in the future.
So basically that actually means we can keep up much closer distance, but also keep it really safe.
Yes.
So you said 1 second because like 1 second is the time it takes for the second truck to behave, right?
Yes.
And based on the V2X communication, this is the safety time we have like for them. But with the technology going on, like keeps upgrading, well, that time gets like even more closer, get even more smaller.
Yes, because the V2X technology has a very high information transformation speed. We can share our information of each vehicle in the system with a frequency of about 20 hertz. That means we can transfer our data from this vehicle to that vehicle in only about 0.05 seconds. This is really very short time period.
So the efficiency will even go higher, right?
Yes.
So guys, you can see the seas is getting the color of the seas is getting different. This is more bluer and so much more prettier because we are going offshore, right?
Yes.
So we are changing the lane currently, right?
Yes, we will change the lane in very few seconds.
Because we have
Detected the
construction, right?
Yes.
We currently have construction and we need to change the lane a little bit for a while. But normally we use this special lane, right?
Yes. But the environment, it is a little dangerous for us to change the lane because there is the vehicle.
Yeah.
So a little seconds later, our vehicle will decelerate, even to stop, but we will keep our best to ensure the safety, and then we will change the lane. We can see a few seconds before we have decelerated, and then we change the lane. All these things are conducted automatically.
So actually the driver didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything.
It knows like the first truck is changing, so the second car knows what to do.
Yes.
So the signal was actually sent to the first one. The first one knows the construction is going on. We cannot take the lane. Let's look at the driver. We are changing back to the special lane now, and we see the driver is not doing anything. Let's see. We will change in a few seconds. So the driver doesn't actually do anything. You can see the car moving autonomously. So he's safety like supervisor, but he doesn't normally do anything, right?
For most of the time, our driver will not do anything. But sometimes there are sometimes there are many dangerous scenarios. For example, sometimes some social vehicle will behave very violently. In this situation, of course, we should take over and take care of the safety of the system.
Because trucks are not that smart, like to know like those corner cases, right?
Yes, all this mean has the name of corner cases.
Yeah. those are like very extreme cases, very like corner cases, which is also the reason we want our trucks to go on these testing lanes to meet those corner cases
we
and
should
to
collect
study from it.
We should collect the data and the scenarios in our database so we can use this kind of data to improve our autonomous driving system and to make them better.
So the cars will learn better and know better next time.
Yes, of course.
This is also the reason why we have test lane and we have different phrases like for those cars to learn. So we are currently in phase 1, right?
Yes, because for the driverless autonomous driving, we still have a long way to go. We know because the daily open road scenario is ever-ending. We can meet, as you have already mentioned, very many corner cases. So we have and despite our test into several stages, the first stage, in the first stage, we will try to move the driver to the passenger seat, away from the driver's seat.
So basically we will not have anyone in the driver's seat. He will take your seat.
Yes, and he will also keep an eye on the environment, on the system status, and if any danger occurs, he will take action, take over, or do something else. This is the first stage. The second stage, we will try to move driver to the back row.
Back seat, like where I am sitting.
Yes, and in this stage, there will be no passenger or no driver in the front row.
So nobody will sit in here or
here. Yes.
Like they will be sitting here where I am like sitting, right?
Yes, this is the second stage.
But they will also have controller here, right?
Of course, we will have a button.
No.
We will have a safety button.
Right.
And if the driver, or we call them safety officer, if they see any danger, they will press the emergency button to let the truck slowly decelerate and stop to keep all the things all right.
So that will be taken into manual mode.
Yes.
Okay. So if we keep on,
then we will go to the third stage, only supervision outside the vehicle.
So this time, like in the first trucks, there will still be drivers.
Yes, but the following cars there will be no drivers.
The first one and the fifth one.
Yes, the first vehicle and the fifth vehicle, there are passengers or safety officer in it. But in the middle three, there will be no person in it.
So car number 2, 3, and 4 will be totally unmanned.
Driverless.
Driverless, guys.
But the driverless doesn't mean we don't care the safety. We have a remote monitoring system in the cloud. In the cloud, it is also based on the 5G and V2X technology. We can take care of the driving status, the vehicle status, and the behavior or anything of the vehicle remotely.
So the engineers in the companies, they can take charge of those trucks to avoid any corner cases.
Yes, and all this kind of design are based the safety requirement of the standard ISO 26262.
This is all really new. You guys can see like there are trucks going all the way round and round, and we are entering the. How far away are we? We are like.
We still have about 16,000 meters to go.
Let's go there.
16 kilometers to go. We can see the information here.
You can see a lot of information from the screen, right? What are the things we can see from the screen?
The things here, we can see the images taken from the camera, and here we can see the distance to the destination.
Those are not from our camera, like from the first one, or like
from our
from
camera,
our.
and some of them are from the front camera.
This is how our truck is seeing the world actually.
Via the V2X transportation technology.
It can also see what the first car is seeing, so it's getting much more smarter because it has more information.
Yes.
Right.
And we can also see the decision result, almost all the information we need for the autonomous driving in this screen.
So those cars have been testing for a while, like starting from the end of 2019, right? And
Yes,
our truck has
already.
started like working from here to the Yangshan Port and back from Yangshan Port to the land, right?
It's almost 3 years.
So it has taken a lot of containers, right?
A lot of containers. So far as I know, in last year we have taken about 100,000 TEU. TEU means the 20 feet equivalent unit, standard container.
Yeah, it's a way to calculation to describe it, right?
Yes.
So it has run 2.6 million kilometers, right? Safely. So those trucks. So it's a really long way, like coming from back in 2009 and then now here. So those trucks are getting much more smarter, and the efficiency is really going higher and higher. Like this is 5G supported smart trucks. Our bridge is like 30 kilometers, right? So it's a little more than 30 kilometers.
You mean the length of the bridge?
Yeah.
The exact number, so far as I know, is 32.5 kilometers.
So we are like 1/3 into the road, right?
Yes. And we can see there are a lot of uphills and downhills in the bridge.
Right.
There we can see it's very beautiful.
We're
very
going up and
smooth
down.
spiral.
Yeah, this
Yes.
bridge is like a little bit different than other bridges. I'm expecting like going all the way up and down, like in only one time. But this bridge actually we go down first, and now we are going up again, right?
Yes, because it is really very, very long. It is more than 30 kilometers long, so have some uphills and downhills. It is very normal.
Right. This is also cross-sea bridge, so it has a lot of factors that need to take into considerations when building. So the weather cases, for example, we may have typhoon here in China. Sometimes in summer, like it can get like big typhoons. So this is also one of the consideration we need to have, like, right?
Yes,
when
we
we're
have-
doing tests.
We have during the test or even in the system design, we have considered a lot of factors. As you have already mentioned, we have considered the weather condition. Because we are in Lingang area, very close to the sea, the typhoon is very often in summer. And we have also considered the crosswind situation. The wind will be very large, and sometimes the rain will be very huge, very heavy. Snow is not so often, but sometimes it is very foggy.
Froggy can be very dangerous
Very
because the
often.
drivers cannot see a lot of things, but the trucks can do better, right?
Yes, because we have different kind of sensors. The different sensors have different features. Some sensor has a very good ability to detect environment in the very dusty, foggy environment.
They do not actually rely on visual.
Yes, they on the millimeter wave.
So that's why they can see more and better than the human drivers.
Yes, because besides that, we have also the V2X system. So if the first vehicle sees, then all the vehicles sees.
And the whole platooning.
Yes.
And we also know that, like in crosswind, we just mentioned crosswind, which is like a very dangerous situation, not just for trucks but also for airplanes. Crosswinds means those winds are going like from our left or the right, so the truck would shift a little bit. So it's really dangerous if those trucks would shift to the other lane or have the dangerous of shifting to the other lane without the knowing of other cars. It's a very dangerous situation, right?
Yes, of course. The crosswind, not only for the autonomous driving, but for the human being driving, it is a very important factor to be considered. But in our system, we have designed the lateral stable control system to avoid the influence of the lateral wind.
That is a very dangerous situation, but we have ways to cope with that.
Yes.
We just stopped a little bit. Is that because the first car is stopping a little bit?
No, it's not because the first car. It is because this car.
Ah.
This car, it was closing to the lane, so we think it has a little probability of the truck to cut in. So we should keep a safety distance between it.
So our truck decided he needs to stop a little bit to avoid the possibility of that truck next to us, right?
Yes.
Right. This is something like human drivers would not normally anticipate, but for those computers, if you put into the data and helps it to learn like this, it will know what to do.
Yes, we have to this kind of algorithm based on a lot of data, and sometimes the prediction we implemented this kind of algorithm based on the deep neural network, a lot of human being data. So we have a guess, oh, maybe this car will cut in, so we should decelerate for a little bit.
So it has alert to the computer. It's light up a little alert. So the computer decided I need to avoid him.
Yes.
Okay. So in this case, we know we are talking about level 4 truck, right?
Yes.
So we know there are for autonomous driving, starting from level 1 to level 5. So we are very close to level 5. Like level 5 is totally unmanned self-driving, right?
Yes.
So for the level 4, what is that stage like?
We are in the level 4 stage, because the level 5 autonomous driving means driverless driving in any scenario. But now we only realize the driverless autonomous driving in the Donghai Bridge scenario. So this means L4. L4 means autonomous driving in a limited scenario.
But this limited is thanks to this special lane, right?
Special lane and in the Yangshan port.
This is a very special pilot policy here.
Yes.
It also shows the ambition of Shanghai and China to really push forward this technology and help this technology to find the right scenario. We know cities other than Shanghai is also having new policies on unmanned driving, such as Shenzhen and Beijing. They are also introducing self-driving lanes in their cities. Normally they are on high roads and sometimes in city roads, right? But cross sea bridge, this is a new thing.
This is a totally new thing. So far as I know, in Beijing and Shenzhen, the autonomous driving related regulations are in city or for L3 autonomous driving. But in Beijing or Shenzhen or in other countries, there's no such a long bridge scenario. And Shanghai, we know it as a very huge city with the aim of becoming one of the biggest shipping center of the world. So I think this Donghai Bridge is a very good model for the financial benefit of the autonomous driving technology.
Yeah, according to the data from the government, we know Shanghai has 1,300 kilometers of roads that is designed for test drivers of intelligent connected vehicles, and it already has 6 million kilometers accumulated in testing. So far, the government has issued license to 25 companies and 325 cars to do self-driving. So the more companies, longer roads, and the city is really doing a lot try to promote this technology. This is also shows China's ambition when it's becoming number 1 NEV city, and also Shanghai is actually the biggest city when we are talking about NEV. The city has the world's biggest numbers in NEVs, and it is also a very big manufacturing center when it comes to the making of NEV. So the city and the country is really going all in this green technology and this smart technologies. So can you tell us in this bridge, so when we see those trucks moving in on those screens, so we don't really care about the one in the first lane, right? But we care those in the second lane, or do we take those all into consideration?
We actually take all the objects, all the vehicles we have detected into consideration, but not all of them we should take actions to them. Some of them we think we should easily just ignore it because they are not related to our ego moving. But for some vehicles, we have already met which one has, for example, cut-in intention. Then we will take actions to them.
So basically, we only take actions on those we should be taking, actions, but we need to see everything.
Yes,
and we decide which ones I care, which ones I don't care.
Yes, this with technical words, this means the object classifier.
So this is also thanks to the computing power of these trucks, right? It can do the calculation itself.
Yes, the domain controller in this truck it has a very high computing ability of about 1,000 TOPS.
That means this is like much smaller than your laptops, right?
Yes.
Or like 20 or 100 times much more smarter than normal laptops.
Yes, it has a very strong GPU to do a lot of graphic computing to enhance the performance of the total system.
So first it needs to see, it has all the sensors, it can like see up to 800 meters, right?
Yes, up to 800 meters.
It can see what is like 800 meters if we're looking forward, like what kind of things is up ahead in 800 meters.
Let's
if
make
we
a
see
comparison. This front vehicle, it is about 90 meters far.
90 meters, that's
Then-
like 9 times longer than that.
Yes,
Oh, somewhere between, even over the curve, right?
yes.
Wow, our truck can actually see like much way over the curve. Like that is really far, like much faster than the human drivers. Because with our eyes, guys, even from our screen, from our eyes, you can see from our video, we can see somewhere like between the lanes, between the I don't know, we can see somewhere between the red ones, but he can see like much over in that, right?
Yes, but we
In the lighthouse.
In the
So
lighthouse, yes,
well,
we can
our
see it.
cars can see everything between here to the lighthouse, but we can see like I think somewhere between this and the red thing, right?
Yes, but for different distance, we have different specification. For example, in the distance of about 500 meters, we should know the exact position, speed, acceleration of the objects. But in the far away objects, we should only know, oh, there is a thing there. We should only take care of it. We should not know the very detailed information of it.
Ah, so it's like eyes, but a little different
Yes.
than human eyes.
Yes, because for human eyes, we cannot we cannot tell this blue truck how fast it is, 90 kilometers per hour or 100 kilometers per hour. This is impossible for human eyes, but for our computing system, it is possible.
He knows how fast it's going. He knows what to do. He knows if he's going up, going up from the speed limit. He knows it can get dangerous if it's going like faster than the speed limit. Like the computer thinks like, oh, that's a dangerous car. I'm getting away from that.
Yes.
We're almost at the end of the truck, right?
Yes, less than 3,000 meters.
Ah, guys, we are almost here at the Yangshan Port, right?
Yes.
This
on the
is
right
how
side is
Yangshan
the
Port
Yangshan
looks like. It's really pretty, guys. The sea here is actually so much bluer because we are way close to the Donghai. So normally our safety driver doesn't really do anything, right? He usually doesn't do anything and let the trucks do the most learning, and this is also the mode for the car to learn, right?
Yes, but the safety officer has another thing to do, and he will tell us how he feel about our product. And sometimes he will tell us, you are driving too slow, you are driving too fast, and we will take their opinion and try to optimize our system.
Because they know they are very teen drivers. They have very long experience in driving, so they know what's like and it should be like in the perfect scenario.
Yes.
So we also know, like in Yangshan Port, we not just have this one car, one smart truck as the smart technology. It has multiple like ones. We know like some of the shuttle bus inside the Yangshan Port is also unmanned. This Yangshan Port has a controller, and most of the jobs here are already done and outsourced by computers already. So later on, guys, maybe this job of drivers is also outsourced to the computers as well. And one of the things like from this truck is that the truck doesn't really get tired, right? Because tired driving can be very dangerous when the
Yes.
driver gets tired.
We can see that the truck is not It will not get very tired like human being driver. They don't need to sleep every day. But to tell the truth, it needs a maintain for about every 10,000 kilometer or every 50,000 kilometer. We will do the daily maintain of the truck to make sure all the sensors, all the systems are working. That's all right.
Guys, we are now in the Yangshan port and let's hop off to meet Ding Ting.
Hi, Rachel. Happy to see you again. So, how's your trip today?
It's super smooth, guys. This is taking much shorter time than I expected. I did not even realize we are already in Yangshan port.
Yes, the journey is quite fast. Home to the world's biggest auto market. So China is driving to develop in a sustainable way and open up further to the world.
So China is also showing its real ambition into green technologies as they become the world's #1 NEV market. The car makers are paying more attention to green technologies as China is becoming the #1 NEV market.
Okay, so that's all of our live today. So goodbye to our audience. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.